Well, okay, boys and girls. So get this. Now somebody in charge is starting to ask questions of, is Delta 8 legal? I mean, what? Now you want to ask that? And talking about skirting the laws that are written and all this stuff. And I mean, okay. Just let's just have a look. This comes out of a pretty reputable rag, USA Today, and they're asking, is Delta 8 THC legal? Where and why the hemp products skirt the MJ laws? God, come on. Okay. They're going into, hang on, I'll just read this. The legal framework for Delta 8 THC that exists is a bit of a patchwork. Well, it's kind of true. The intoxicating cannabinoids has had a meteoric rise in popularity across the country, in part due to its availability even in states where MJ is illegal. Well, because you pay sales tax, not the MJ tax. The substance, which is sourced from hemp, is legal at the Fed level, though through a loophole of the 2018 Farm Bill. Can't deny that either. However, various states have banned it, and others are actively working on regulation. The result is a map that's confusing, apparently. So let's go from there. All right. So here, USA Today attempts to answer the definitive question: is Delta 8 legal? Since Delta 8 THC is sourced from hemp and not MJ, it is legal and unregulated, like I said, at the federal level. And apparently, they're going to go on and they're going to tell you about how it's supposed to be for textile manufacturing, medicine, and accidentally intoxicants. With sales exploding across the country, legislators and medical professionals have begun to sound the alarm on not only the unchecked accessibility, but also the unregulated production process. Well, you hold that retailer accountable and them parents accountable, it is what it is. But they're not. They're not. And so I don't know what to tell you about that, right? And so Daniel here goes on, or Danielle, I apologize. What I am paranoid about is legalizing and using legally stuff that we don't know anything about, and we know very little about Delta 8. And apparently, this is the director of the Center for the Study of Cannabis at the University of California, Irvine campus, apparently. As the state by state regulations begin to take shape, she's worried that the right voices are not being heard, and most lawyers have no idea about the chemistry, he says. I thought that said Danielle. Well, okay, whatever. Though Delta 8 is similar to Delta 9, the chemical component of marijuana that accounts for the high feeling, they are not identical. Both are psychoactive and connect to the same receptors in the brain that cause intoxication. But Delta 8's connection is weaker, creating a lesser effect, hence the nickname diet weed. It is what it is there, okay? That said, without formal regulation, the potency of Delta 8 production varies and may not be reliably less psychoactive than the Delta 9 products. Well, that tends to be true, man, because we know that once it's heated up, it is kind of what it is, and most of it may come in hot in the first place. So, and by hot, I mean above the 3% that it's supposed to be. Most Delta 8 is not sourced directly from the plant, but instead synthesized, which I think is another problem, from CBD, which occurs more plentifully in hemp. This process can involve chemicals not fit to consume. I can't even deny that's true. So why is Delta 8 legal? That's the question. The government defines hemp as part of the cannabis sativa plant with no more than 0.3% of THC. Anything over that ventures into illegality, apparently. A legal dispute challenging the legitimacy of the loophole created by the 18 Farm Bill was shot down in May when a federal judge in California, now remember, this is all going on in California, ruled that the production of Delta 8, along with other hemp derived cannabinoids, was legal. So, a California judge and now a California person looking into the plant. They're at odds. Can you beat that? Regardless of the wisdom of legalizing Delta 8 THC products, this court will not substitute its own policy judgment for that of Congress. And this is D. Michael Fisher wrote in the court's unanimous decision. So a federal court in California said this. But there's going to be some problems. So what states is legal? All right. And it's going to give you a list towards the bottom of which states are what. And, you know, I think it needs to be looked into. And I need you to read this. Okay. And so states that are that regulate Delta 8, Minnesota, Louisiana, Kentucky, we can't have flour here. South Dakota, Virginia, Vermont, Florida, Tennessee. And so people that so states that are already legalized marijuana, Delta 8 is regulated by agencies that already charged with keeping an eye on intoxicating cannabis substances. And so these states are apparently looking into this as well. So Connecticut, Maryland, Michigan, Nevada, Oregon, Utah, New York. And this is where it's banned. Like you cannot have this there, apparently. So Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, Colorado, Delaware, Idaho, Iowa, Mississippi, Montana, North Dakota, Rhode Island, and Washington. One state has passed regulatory authority to their MJ programs, and those bodies chose to ban it. Those states are California. Okay, so California judge, and now these people. They're all at odds. Okay. It's all California. Hawaii also banned Delta 8, but apparently that's not in the list. But they did list that here, but by an administrative rule, not a law. So, in Arkansas and Maryland, state laws have been passed attempting to regulate Delta 8, but actions brought in federal court have stalled a regulatory framework. There's a problem, and they know it. And so the article's here. I'm going to list it for you. And if they're asking this question where they said it was legal in the first place, who else is going to start asking that question? Well, Kentucky, for starters. We already know that they're doing things here which will cause problems if you don't have the right licensure, which, you know, we'll have to get a hemp handler's license, and we'll have to do some other things for that. And you know, everything comes at a cost, and it is what it is. But I'll list this article. You take a look at it. Tell me what you think. Kind of weird, but it is what it is. Imagine that, California having a problem with its own ruling. Okay, so check it out. Let me know what you think. It's kind of an odd process that we got going on here. What do you think? Comment down below. Tell us what's up, and let's get the conversation going. I don't want to argue. I'm just telling you the news, and that's it. I mean, that's all. But USA Today put it out. Chad did not write this letter. I did not do this. All right. So let's get the conversation started and see what's up. But in the meantime, start looking around your state. Are you consuming legal product? Are you buying legal product? Check it out. Make sure, because you do not want the boys in blue in your stores or in your house.